What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Daily Football Zone. I'm here with the co-hosts Jake and Nahum. How's everyone doing tonight?
A little tired, but hanging in there. Always love me a mock draft.
Right. We're recording this on Wednesday, April 12th. So by the time this is released, we'll have it released on April 13th on that Thursday. It will be officially 2 weeks away from the NFL draft. So once you're watching this, we're officially 2 weeks away, 14 days. Y'all excited? It's always a good time of year.
Oh,
very excited.
Right? It's like, I don't know. It's like I always look forward to it. And then after that, you don't really got much going into training camp other than like the NFL schedule release. Like,
yeah, it's like 2 months of a dead period. Well, I mean, you get the schedule release.
That's what I mean. That's exciting too, because then you're like, oh, if you want to plan on going to a game, you're like, okay, like I see what teams are playing. I'm gonna plan out say if it's obviously speak for everybody. If it's in your hometown or if you're traveling, like, you're gonna say, okay, I plan on going to this game. Okay, what week's it gonna be? Is it gonna be on prime time? Is it gonna be a Thursday night game, a Sunday night game, Monday night, week 3, week 10? You know, so that's always, I find that the most exciting part of the NFL schedule release. Other than that, like, it's just something for the NFL to have glamorized for the month. I feel like NFL needs something every month to obviously bring in attraction. Just like, you know, free agencies in March, the drafts in April, you get the Super Bowl in February. Come June and July, that's where it's like, what? I think OTA start in May also, and then you got like June, like whatever, and then, you know, training camp starts in July, and then August, obviously the preseason going into the regular season in September. But yeah, pretty much after the NFL schedule release, even during that time, it's kind of whatever. But the draft's like the big thing before it's a dead period. Obviously, free agency is also a good time of the year in March, after, you know, a month after the Super Bowl. It usually is. But yeah, we're officially 2 weeks away. I don't know if y'all got anything planned. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do. I do want to make content for after the draft, though. So if y'all able to hop on, that'd be great. But what's your guys' plans?
No plans. Just normal watch party. Just once I probably get off work, should be around the same time. So just get ready and watch the draft after that.
Yeah.
You know what we should do though? We should do a live show for the draft. Have our like live reactions.
I mean, that would be dope too. It's just like trying to figure out like a setup for that would be the only concern. Because obviously we're doing this virtual. I mean, we could keep it virtual, or if we all were all in one room, that'd be cool too. But again, if we do something like that, we got 2 weeks to plan that. But we'll get that figured out. If it's, you know, we hop on here or we're together, however we want to do it. But definitely gonna put out content. Especially if we don't do that afterwards, we're gonna have maybe if we don't do it live, we could do a recap afterwards and recap everything, but and give our thoughts on say the first round, second round, third round, especially the first 2 days. On, you know, day 3 is whatever. That's just, you know, 5 rounds 4 through 7. That's whatever. But you know, rounds 1 through 3 are always exciting. But yeah, you guys ready to get into our third official mock draft? I know the Brown brothers weren't able to hop on, nor Kevin. I know Kevin in the hospital. He should be out tonight, for everyone that's wondering. But
well soon.
Yeah, the Brown brothers are they're busy, so it's just us 3 tonight, and that's fine. Hopefully everyone can hop on to the next one, 4.0, if that comes out next week, or maybe the week of the draft. We'll try to get that out. You know, if we can get 5 done, that'd be cool, but if not 4, that'll be the last mock draft. But yeah, we'll pop up the big board. We're on Pro Football Network. We're on Pro Football Network because I ain't paying, what is it, like $7.99 for PFF? I ain't trying to pay for trades, you know. Like, you know, I'd use PFF if it was a non-trade draft, but since we agreed to do trades on this one, we ain't gonna pay PFF. Like, it's not worth it. I know I don't care about their grades and all that anyway to pay for it, to see all their little exclusive crap like that. You know, I'm good off that. But yeah, this is gonna be a trade draft. We got an order. I'm gonna put us in the right order on the screen. So Nahum, you'll go first. I'll be second, and then Jake will be third, and then back up to you at 4, and so on. But yeah, I know I spoke to you guys about it, you know, backstage before we hopped on recording. But this, I don't like. It's not gonna be like an exact predictive draft. It's just for what we're wanting to, as say, if we're in charge of the team, what the direction we would go instead of thinking what they would do. It's more like,
okay, I didn't know that. I thought it was gonna be kind of predictive, but
I mean, you can do kind of predictive, but obviously, like, more like if you're the GM and what you think is the right move.
So this is what we would do.
Yeah. I want our last mock to be the actual predictive of what we think is gonna happen.
All right.
So
Okay.
I want this to be more of us, just like, being a GM and then going through, what you think these teams should do. I mean, if you want to make it somewhat predictive, I'm cool with that too. But I feel like our last mock, that I definitely want that to be like the most predictive of what you think is going to happen compared to what we think we want to happen or what we would do for that team, for example. But yeah, something like that. Because I can say, like, I predict Jalen Carter to go number 3 and surprise everybody and think that's going to happen. But if I was the Cardinals, maybe I would want to, fade away from him due to his off the field issues. But so yeah, that's I kind of was aiming to do. Obviously, people in the comments, if you agree with us, let us know. Feel free to like the video as well, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, leave comments. Always interact. Being interactive is always a good thing. So, yeah, y'all ready to hop into it?
Let's do it.
All right. So Nahum, you're number 1. So you're on the clock with the Carolina Panthers. Which quarterback do you have them taking?
All right.
Assuming you haven't
I'm
taken
on the
quarterback,
clock
you'd make a big shocker if you didn't.
with the Panthers staff. And if I'm the GM working with Coach Frank Wright over there, there's when they first made the trade, the Panthers, everyone talked about how Frank Wright has always worked with a quarterback that has been over 6'3", 6'2".
Yeah, quarterback of big
and
size.
Yeah, when you work with a quarterback of that size throughout your whole career, Bryce Young is great. I think he checks all the boxes, despite the size of the box. But I think Frank Wright prefers bigger quarterbacks, and CJ Stroud. It's not like he's lacking severely compared to Bryce Young. It's pretty even neck. So I'm gonna go with CJ Stroud as a first overall pick.
Ooh, going against the, as of today, Vegas odds. Bryce Young is actually in the favorites from last time I saw. But CJ Stroud to the Carolina Panthers. Which, yeah, I wouldn't blame you, or I wouldn't be upset. Me as a Panther fan, I wouldn't be upset if that happens. But yeah, CJ Stroud. You think, is that what you want or what you think though, Nahum?
I think either quarterback is fine, but just it's like when you're a head coach, and Frank Wright was a former quarterback himself. Of course, he's a bigger guy, probably like 6'3", 6'4", around that, and he probably knows the trials and tribulations that rookie quarterbacks go through as far as getting hit. And Panthers have they're working on their O-line. They have what they think is a franchise left tackle, but I think that's just his preference. And I think no one in the quarterback room is going to disagree with this.
Okay.
Or disagree,
Yeah, I feel like the team are going to be on the same page, and whoever it is going to be the guy. If it's Young or Stroud, I feel like they're all going to be on board with it. But now we have the Houston Texans on the clock at 2. And I know they're high on Bryce Young. I know we spoke earlier about off air about what they would do if Bryce Young was taken first, if that would be a trade or not, because obviously there's those rumors where they might trade out of number 2 if Bryce Young's not there. But since we do have Bryce Young here, I think they should still go quarterback, even if CJ Stroud was there too. But since Bryce Young is the guy there, I'm going with Bryce Young, number 2 to the Houston Texans. This with that rumor, like I know I mentioned but I'll say it on recording, like maybe they use number 12, or maybe they think the guy they would want if they could trade back a couple spots would still be there. If it's, say, Will Levis, for example, if a team wanted to trade up for Stroud and they think Levis will be there at, say, 7, for example, if the Raiders wanted to trade up, maybe Will Levis is their guy, and maybe they'll stick with Davis Mills as a bridge guy for however long it takes for Will Levis to be ready to play in the NFL. So, yeah, that'll be an interesting pick if those rumors are true. But since Bryce Young's on the board, I'll give them the guy that is reported, the guy they're high on. So Bryce Young to the Houston Texans at 2. But now Arizona Cardinals are on the clock at 3. Jake, this is a trade draft. They gonna take the trade right here, or are they staying put?
So I think we can agree that Stroud and Young are gonna be the first 2 players selected Doesn't matter what order they're going to be in, but those will be the first 2 players off the board. I'm really confident in that. So, in terms of who we think is going to go, the draft really starts at number 3 with the Arizona Cardinals. If it is the Arizona Cardinals, so will it be them?
Oh no, I feel like somehow he thinks the draft's gonna start with number 1 if Carolina trades with Houston, and then shocks the little draft and gets
That's
either
what
12
you
or
want
33
to
out of
happen,
him.
but it's not going to happen. Like,
So I'd be if we don't get that did happen and we got if it's not 12, I'd be stoked for 33 and then still get a guy at 2 if it's Stroud or Young. Like I'd still be stoked just to get that extra.
There's no
pick
way
at
it's 2 and
33.
12. That's way too.
Yeah,
rich.
I don't think so, but you never know. Desperate times
2 and
comes for desperate times calls for desperate measure. You know, like you never
man.
know.
You would
33. That's top of the first. Technically top of the second. Technically 32 is now in the second. But if it was a normal draft, if Miami didn't forfeit their pick, technically that'd be like the first pick of the second round. Technically, so having that pick and then 39, you can address edge and receiver right there at 33 and 39. So I would hope they're all in on Bryce Young and willing to make that package happen on draft night. Because I already know that would start the draft off with a bang. It's like, damn, they really did that to start off the draft, So that's my hope. Because I'm cool with Young or Stroud, preferably Young if we stay at 1. But if that would happen, I'm cool getting Stroud at 2 and then getting obviously 12 is like what I wish for, but like I still wish for 33 as well. So yeah, that'd be crazy. But back to the Arizona Cardinals pick.
All right.
I just wanted to throw that out there.
So, Cardinals. We can all agree they need players. They don't necessarily need to be here at number 3. They need players. So this could be the first prime trade back scenario of the NFL draft.
I think they should, to be honest, because they can
And I
use
think they
edge
should
and
too.
secondary.
I really do.
They can get a corner in the second round and then go like a couple of spots back to get a defensive lineman.
Yeah, because I just gotta think, if Will Anderson is the supposed generational prospect, the Cardinals would no-brainer stay put and take him. That's what I feel like. But now this is just me. I love Will Anderson. He's a top 2 edge in the class. I don't think he's a generational player. I don't quite see that, but he's really good.
Oh, he had 17 and a half sacks in 2021.
Yeah, he did.
He went down last year, but it's still 10 or and a half, I think it was, or 10 and a half last year, but still good.
So it would be no shocker if the Cardinals trade back. It's just a matter of who. And I'm just going to have a trade back of 1 spot. The Colts are going to move up.
I agree.
I say, technically you'd have the Colts pick, so you agree with that? I would agree too.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up earlier. Yeah, I think we should swap.
The Colts are going to move up 1 spot, and
I think Colts move up, secure their quarterback.
They're just going to make sure that they get their guy, and this has been my motto for weeks now. Will Levis, you are an Indianapolis Colt.
I'm just gonna put whatever picks because obviously we're just doing the first round.
Yeah, just BS it. Yeah.
It was declined, of course. I got to make it work
somehow.
somehow.
A bunch of first rounders. Who cares?
Well, it has to be accepted. I wish you could just. That's what I liked about PFF. You can force it. So, that's the only thing that sucks about this. You got to make it where the damn computer just wants to freaking approve it. Let's see.
Yeah, the 4th.
Let's see if that works. Oh my god.
Dude, just give them the first rounder. Who cares? Just give them next year's first rounder and their second and all their picks.
Okay, so 4. And
bang, 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 bang.
You think that'll be approved?
Yeah. No. Just do their second also. Just make sure it's good.
Hey, throw in Kyler Murray.
All right. All right, so 4. Sorry, 4.
Can you do that?
You can throw in some players right there that they have, but they're not giving you everyone. That's what I like about PFF. You can throw in anybody's, but there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So
there we go.
You know, obviously we're not going accurate to what we think compensation will be. We're just trying to get through the first round. All right. So Colts are on the clock at 3, just 1 spot. Jake, who are they trading up for?
Well, you guys must not have heard me because I've already said it. This is my
Yeah,
this has been my motto for weeks now. Will Levis, You are an Indianapolis Colt.
You got so you got Will Levis at 3. Okay.
Will Levis is a Colt. He's destined.
I mean, I want that to happen, but I don't know how rumors and everything has been going around. Will Levis might
coffee
slip,
drinking,
but we'll see.
banana peel eating sucker.
Brown banana peel eating, mayonnaise coffee drinker. That's giving teams character concerns supposedly. So it's interesting. It's interesting.
Will Levis off-field issues.
Eats banana peels and drinks mayonnaise coffee.
Like it's not like you got a DUI like Mac Jones or got thrown down by police like they feel.
Public intoxication like Stetson Bennett.
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
And a couple, what was that, January? Yeah, not that long ago, or February.
Dude, he's like 26, bro. Like, come on,
right.
grow up.
Right.
Hey, he's just turning up. He's just turning up.
26.
Them college, never leaving the college.
College year. He's trying to make it last as long as possible.
Like
live his college glory days. All right, Nahum. But now you're on the clock with Arizona Cardinals at 4. They trade back one spot. What do the Cardinals do at 4?
All right, with the Cardinals pick, they're going to be targeted pass rusher. They got the Coach Gannon from the Eagles. Gannon was just with a dominant pass rush over there in Philly. And of course, the Cardinals, you could add any piece on defense and it would be an upgrade, except for Buda's position. I think they're going to go with the best pass rusher here, though. And I think Will Anderson is a great prospect. I think he was the best player in college. I think the better NFL prospect is the freak, the 6'6" guy with long-ass arms, Tyree Wilson.
So you're going with Tyree Wilson?
That's going to be the pick. You can go with Tyree Wilson.
Oh, you're surprising the league with that pick right there.
This wouldn't shock me if this happened. It wouldn't shock me.
I mean, nothing shocks me anymore. Just due to the fact that you never know what's going to happen these days.
You just don't know.
Yeah.
So I can't blame you.
I think he just projects better.
You might have people in the comments, lighting you up, but they don't know either. So I don't blame you. Tyree Wilson being the first edge off the board at 4 instead of Will Anderson. That'd definitely be a shocker.
That man's a freak. 6'6", 35-inch arms.
Okay.
You got Ben too. Yeah, come on.
He does got Ben for 6'6". Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Tyree Wilson off the board at 4. Number 5, Seattle Seahawks are on the clock. They definitely didn't think Will Anderson Jr. was going to be there at 5. I think they could use help on the defensive line. They brought in Draymond Jones. Obviously, they can throw Jalen Carter in the inside as well. But when you got Will Anderson Jr. there, you got to go with the best player. The best player that doesn't have the off-field issues like Jalen Carter does. Arguably, both of those are the top 2 defensive players in college football last year, and past couple years actually. So, but I'm gonna go Will Anderson just due to the fact that they did sign Draymond Jones in free agency. I feel like they can use another edge then to address, and Will Anderson Jr. being there on the clock instead of Tyree Wilson, they go Anderson Jr. at 5. But now we got the Detroit Lions, sixth overall, their first of 2 in the first round. Jake, what do the Detroit Lions do with the 6th overall pick?
I just want to add on to the 5th pick real quick. If I was Seattle and Carter and Will Anderson were both still on the board like they were just now, if I had to, well, at least it's not what I would do necessarily, but if I have to predict what they're gonna do, I think they would take Carter. I just think it's a Seattle thing to do because Carroll, he's great with young players. He's not afraid to take a character guy. Like back in 2012, they took Bruce Irvin, who reportedly had off-field concerns and character stuff going on. But he took him and he turned him into one of the key contributors to their short little dynasty that they had. And there's been other players too. I can't think off the top of my head, but there's been other players like that too.
Brandon Browner, and stuff like that.
Yeah, Seattle's just been notorious for taking players like that and just developing them. And,
See, if Will Anderson Jr. wasn't there, I'd be intrigued to get Carter. But I feel like, with the addition of Draymond Jones, I feel like we got Will Anderson there. Not expecting him to be there. I feel like that was the case. Obviously, me as the GM, I'd go Anderson Jr. just to fill that need instead of doubling down on the defensive tackle due to the fact that you got Draymond Jones in free agency. And then I can't even think of a pass rusher for Seattle other than Nwusu. Like, who's their other edge?
Is LJ Collier?
Yeah,
still there?
they're short on.
Yeah,
depth, right?
Collier's not there, but he hasn't really panned out. Like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, obviously he shouldn't have been picked when he was back. You know, they're known for breaching, so you know, that's the Seattle way though. You saw that with Rashad Penny in 2018. I like Penny coming out of state,
was
but like he was not projected to be a first round pick whatsoever. Even Bruce Irvin then was kind of a reach too. And speaking of Bruce Irvin, but yeah, I that's why I went Will Anderson Jr. though. I feel like they can address the edge over defensive tackle just due to getting Draymond Jones, due to that situation with Carter and Anderson both being on the board. But yeah, Detroit is on the clock though, 6th overall. Do they go Jalen Carter, Jake? Do they trade back if someone really wants Anthony Richardson? What do you got going?
So there's different directions Detroit can go here. Keep in mind they do have also the 18th pick, so they got a little bit of freedom. They have a little bit of wiggle room to maybe take a little bit of a risk and take someone like a Jalen Carter if he's still on the board, which he is here. But that's not who I'm going to go with.
Ooh.
They just trade away Jeff Okudah for a 5th rounder. He's in Atlanta now, along with AJ Terrell, his fellow classmate from the 2020 class.
Ooh.
They need corner help, even though they did sign Cameron Sutton away from the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they also got, who's the other corner they have?
Emmanuel Mosley from San
That's
Francisco.
right, Emmanuel Mosley. They could still use another guy. And what corner in this class is more of a ankle-biting, kneecap-eating son of a gun than Devon Witherspoon? He's the perfect Detroit line, and I think this is what will happen on draft day. And I think if I'm Dan Campbell, this is also what I would want to happen as well.
Okay, so Devin Witherspoon to the Detroit
I
Lions.
like the pick.
I just think it's a perfect match.
Perfect match,
Yeah.
and it's not like anyone else above them is going to take Witherspoon or a corner.
Maybe
No one needs a corner
Vegas.
above them.
Oh,
And
above
but
them.
above them, like
Yeah, no, I don't think so. No.
Mhm.
I don't think a corner goes until number 6 at the earliest.
Okay, so yeah, Devin Witherspoon, cornerback out of Illinois, going to just a little bit north to Detroit. Nahum, you're now on the clock with your Chargers rival, Las Vegas Raiders. Do they trade back from 7? Do they or do they stay put and draft whoever's on the board right now? What do you think, or what would you do?
A certain
If I was the GM, I'd be trying to sabotage the Raiders, so I'd trade away all our assets
Saboteur.
and I just, honestly declare bankruptcy. But as a bit, I gotta play it real. I don't think for Josh McDaniels, I don't think Anthony Richardson is a fit for him. I think he needs more of a pocket passer. He tried having a mobile quarterback with Cam Newton, and it looked decent, but I don't think that's the route he wants to go for himself. If he's trying to build around a young quarterback, so with the 3 pocket passers off the board, I think they turned a corner here.
So
And
they don't go Jalen Carter?
I love Witherspoon. No, I don't think McDaniels coming from the Patriots side. I don't think Jalen Carter is a player who takes a risk on.
Okay.
So I
I
think they're
just
gonna
feel
look
like, I
at
feel like
corner.
that's the Raider move, even with McDaniels or not.
I do just want to say the Raiders need a tackle though, low key, but I don't think that's talked about enough.
They might need a tackle, but I'm roll with corner here, just because they got a good slot corner, but I think they need better guys on the outside, especially with the receivers in the AFC West and the
Well,
quarterbacks
yeah,
in the AFC West.
Nate Hobbs is actually listed as their cornerback 1 according to ESPN's depth chart, and he's more of a nickel guy.
He's a slot guy.
Yeah,
he's
so Duke
So-
Jelly and Brandon Facuson, or however you say his name, Brandon Facuson. Those are like the only notable corners, I
Mhm.
guess you could say, they're on the depth chart. So, I
Yeah.
can see corner
And
being a
they're-
big move.
They're not great. So the two top 2 corners left on the board, I think, are Christian Gonzalez and Joey Porter. I do like Joey Porter a lot. I do. If Jake at 6 ended up taking Gonzalez instead of Witherspoon, then I probably would have taken Porter with Gonzalez
Interesting.
on the board.
I think you should still take Joey Porter.
No, I think Raiders want a bigger corner. Even though I love Witherspoon, I think Raiders want a bigger guy. Gonzalez is pretty big. Joey Porter is pretty big. I'm gonna take Gonzalez for the Raiders.
I was trying to sway you.
All right.
I do
I'm
like
trying
Joey
to
Porter
say
though.
you.
Joey Porter's really good.
All right.
I think he's
No,
gonna
no,
be a
I
beast.
was. I mean, I don't care if you pick Porter. I just wanted Gonzalez to get passed on.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Atlanta, that's intriguing. I feel like possibly you got someone like Jalen Carter on the board still. I feel like this could be a trade back scenario. I feel like a team, or and Anthony Richardson's still on the clock too. Like team, I feel like they could possibly trade back because teams are going to be on the phone trying to move up for these two guys. Would you guys be would object Atlanta going back to 18 with Detroit?
Well, Lions are coming back up.
Yeah, I got what I just thought of right now. Would you object that?
No.
Well, I don't see why they will come back up for. But let me see your pick. Go ahead, make the pick. Let me see if it makes sense.
Okay, so
To
we
be
got
fair, the Lions did it last year.
yeah, they moved up
They
from what,
did.
32 to 12 to get
20 spots.
Williams.
20 spots
Jameson.
without
Jameson
giving up
Williams.
the first. That's crazy.
Yeah, because they had the
They did.
32nd pick from the Rams with Stafford trade. They moved up to like 12 to get Jameson Williams. So, they're obviously not scared to move up. So I'll give them 18-8. I'll just throw in another first, see if that gets approved. Of course.
Give them a bunch of picks. Just give them a bunch of picks.
Okay, where we at with the
That's
NFC?
what I always do. If I do one round, like, who cares?
And that's the Falcons. So what are we saying? 18,
And then first.
48, 81, something like that.
And their first. Then their first next year. And 55.
There you go. Okay. So, yeah, again, for everyone that's watching, don't mind the compensation. Obviously, I don't think that's going to happen with the numbers. Who knows what they'd give up. But now we got the Lions on the clock again. I know there's rumors thinking that they could get quarterback at 6 if someone's there, if they want to develop a guy behind Goff as have Goff as a bridge guy. But I think they stick with Goff. He had a pretty good year last year, and that seems pretty promising. And that's why I had them trading up back to 8 because I feel like they can address the defensive tackle position, and you got Jalen Carter right there. That defense is looking scary as it is. Would you bring in Devin Witherspoon, Cam Sutton, Emmanuel Mosley, you got CJ Gardner-Johnson, you drafted Aiden Hutchinson last year. James Houston was a late round guy that ended up being pretty productive. And you still got guys like Romeo Okwara. Those linebackers are good. Malcolm Rodriguez, who I liked out of Oklahoma State. He had a pretty good rookie year with Detroit. But Jalen Carter's right there. I know Aleem McNeil is one of their inside guys, but I can't even think who else is there. So I feel like they can be ballsy and move up and get a freak like Jalen Carter. If he falls to 8, they're going to utilize that second pick they got to move up and give, obviously get arguably the best defensive player that's in the draft. It's just the off the field issues and all that happened that's making them slip down to 8 in our draft. But to get Devin Witherspoon at 6 and Jalen Carter at 8 to beef up that defense, I think that'd be huge for Detroit. So that's the trade I decided to go with. If you have any thoughts, ballsy.
I
think it's different.
And that could be if I was being predictive, that could be an option too. But I'm going based off obviously if I'm the GM. So I'd rather do Jalen Carter over Richardson just to the fact that I think Goff had a good year last year and Jalen Carter's still on the board. So I'd rather move up.
I agree. Yeah, when quarterback's not a pressing need, you can't use your assets like that to draft a quarterback first for now. And what does it tell Goff? Like he just balled out, he finally has some security.
Yeah, and then you put pressure
like,
on your guy
job this year, and then boom, you draft another first round quarterback. So,
yeah. So that's what I decided to do if I'm the GM. But Jake, you're on the clock with the Chicago Bears. What happens right here?
So there have been rumors recently that the Steelers want to trade up to number 9, and the Bears have been talking, and they've been having conversations. But I'm gonna stay put.
Okay.
With the Chicago Bears, and I think the number 1 position of need at this moment, if I'm looking at the board here, I would be looking at the tackle position. But it's not going to be who you think it is. It's not going to be Paris Johnson. It's going to be the guy from Georgia, Broderick Jones.
Yeah, Broderick Jones being the first guy off the board.
I think.
Okay.
I think the Bears
not
are.
Skoronski, not Johnson.
I think the Bears like. I think the Bears are gonna like his ceiling. He's a bit of a raw. He's a bit of a more raw prospect. He's more refining than someone like Paris Johnson or a Skoronski or even a Darnell Wright. But I think the high-end talent of Broderick Jones could have him as the best pure tackle in the class when it's all said and done. I think the Bears are going to be willing to bank on it.
Ooh, interesting. Broderick Jones. Put him out there on the tackle position with Braxton Jones, who they drafted last year, and they still got Tevin Jenkins. We'll see what happens with Tevin Jenkins, or if Braxton Jones isn't the guy. That's interesting. They could obviously use a lot of offensive lineman help. Broderick Jones. That's if Jake was your GM, Chicago. You're going Broderick Jones. Not a bad pick either. It's kind of we'll see how Chicago Bear fans feel about that. But again, we'll see what happens in the long run, though. I can't blame you for that. But Nahum, you're on the clock with the Philadelphia Eagles, the NFC champs. What did they do at 10?
All right, well, at 10, they're sitting pretty. They can, I think they're ready to take the best player available. And looking at their offseason moves, they let Miles Sanders walk to free agency and signed a decent contract with the Panthers. They kept, or Jason Kelce decided to come back for another year. It's got to be his last year. It's like his third year, leaving and coming back. But with Kelce returning and the O-line staying intact, and right now the running backs in the roster, Boston Scott and Kenneth Gainwell. Kenneth Gainwell's no slouch, by the way. That's good. Oh yeah, and Rashad Penny.
But he's injury prone, so.
Thank you.
When he's healthy, he averages 6 yards a carry.
No, Penny's still a good running back, but
yeah, I think career-wise he averages 6 yards a carry. But obviously, he hasn't been healthy, so that 6 yards doesn't say much.
When he's healthy, he's good.
No, when he's healthy, he's really good.
Yeah,
I think he's really good. He's really fast. Obviously, he's like 220, something like that. He's huge. But saying they're gonna ride the old line this year. Get them a running back. Best running back to come out in a long time. We're going to go with Bijan Robinson at 10.
Ooh, at 10.
Very much a luxury pick.
A lot of people are mad. They don't think running back should be top 10s, but Nahum don't care. And I wouldn't blame Philly. You get a stud like Robinson in that offense. Woo! I don't care if it's at 10 or 31. Like, sheesh.
Read options with Hurts and Robinson be going crazy.
And you still got Brown and Smith there, and you got pick 31 still. That can be another receiver. Woo, Philly, man. And their defense, I still think their defense could still be pretty good, even though they had some departures. I think it still could be decent. Yeah, that's a good pick, Nahum. But now we got the Tennessee Titans on the clock. If Will Levis was still on the board and not at Indianapolis school, I've been having Will Levis mocked to the Titans. If they decide to trade up or if he falls to 11. But since Anthony Richardson's on the board, I'm going to have Anthony Richardson go there. There's the rumors that obviously the Titans are already moving on from Malik Willis, who they drafted in the 3rd round, so I'm not surprised if they are. Obviously, the time that he played last year, he didn't look like he was NFL ready. I don't even think he started he played in 2 or 3 games or even more.
No bad. Not good.
Couldn't even throw over 200 yards or even 100 yards in some of those games. So, obviously, he probably not going to be the answer. Ryan Tannehill is only getting older. Want Tannehill to be that bridge guy. Richardson can develop. They want to bring in another rock prospect to develop. It feels like the Tennessee thing to do, and they'll go Anthony Richardson at 11.
Wait, so I just want to get you think after a year after drafting a raw running quarterback,
they're gonna do it. Well,
the same thing. Thing
is, I wanted it to be Levis, but Levis isn't on the board, so I'm going with the next quarterback.
So why pigeonhole a quarterback? They don't have to say quarterback here. They're also missing a tackle.
Because I still think they're going quarterback either way. If it's Richardson or Levis, they're going quarterback. That's my thought.
Okay. All right.
And it's a Tennessee thing to do. They're gonna go. They're gonna.
You don't think Hendon Hooker?
No, I don't think
Hendon Hooker even with.
No.
Okay, well, all right.
They already have a quarterback. They don't need another one coming off a torn ACL and be 26 by the time he even plays, maybe. So, I say Anthony Richardson.
All right.
That's the Tennessee thing to do since Will Levis is on the board. But this time it's in the 1st round, not the 3rd. But Jake, you're on the clock. at number 12 with the Houston Texans. What do they do here? Does DeMeco Ryans get his defensive guy?
This is interesting because if Houston took C.J. Stroud, this would be a JSN pick all day.
It's gotta be.
I can 100% see that happening, and that's what I would do. Because you should never underestimate chemistry. But you brought a good point. DeMeco Ryans is the head coach, defensive-minded, and looking at the board here, most of the big board, well, according to this one, it's pretty dominated by offensive players from the looks of it. You could go edge. You could go.
I'd say edge if I was the GM, but you're the GM. What do they do?
You know what? Give me Skoronski, and I'm gonna have him as a guard.
Ooh, okay. Going offensive line to protect Bryce Young. I mean, that's a good move too, to be honest. You got Laramie Tunsil locked up. Bring in some more guys. Obviously, they can use some interior work. They can also use a right tackle. But yeah, Skoronski
has that like Zach Martin potential. I think if he plays in the interior, he can play tackle. I'm not saying he can't, but I think his place is on the interior, and I think that's like when you hear his name called on draft day, it'll say guard, not tackle. I think that's what's going to happen. And looking at who's there, I'm just going by the board. I think this is honestly what I would do, and this is the Texans got two of the absolute safest picks in the draft, and these guys should be surefire guys right off the bat.
Yeah, definitely. You get your quarterback of the future. You gotta get him some protection. You got Tunsil there, but Skoronski is a guy if you need to throw him in the inside or if you keep him at right tackle. The concern is the arm length. I mean, another Northwestern offensive tackle and Rashawn Slater went to the Chargers. He had a good rookie year. Obviously got hurt last year, so we didn't get to see him majority of last year.
That was a great rookie year?
Yeah. I'm not going to – I guess great. Yeah, it was great.
He looks like a Texan bull.
Was he all pro, though?
It was.
Second team.
Oh, then okay, I'll give him great for being a rookie. If he didn't get all pro, then I'm sticking with good. But he did, so I say great. Great rookie year. Obviously got hurt last year. Also went to Northwestern, and the arm length was a concern. So Skoronski's kind of that same situation. But, if that's a concern, they want to move him on guard, I feel like that's a good choice. DeMeco Ryans will have to wait till round 2 to get his defensive guys. But, protect your franchise quarterback. So that's a good pick in my opinion.
I like it. I like the pick. Yep. You got to start the O-line. You can get some weapons later in the draft.
Yep. So now we got the New York Jets at 13th overall. Nahum, what did they do here with the 13th pick? By the way, there was a report today that the Packers are wanting a second-round pick this year and a first-rounder next year for Aaron Rodgers. So that's a rumor. We'll see what happens. It might happen on draft day when they do the trade, hopefully. I'm tired of hearing – I'm just waiting on it to break so we can just know already. But, what did the Jets do at 13 overall?
This is a tough pick because if they get Rodgers, I mean they will do Rodgers. Is this 13th pick going to be a part of it? Is it not?
Well, according to that rumor I saw, it's not. But you never know.
So you were saying you think they want a second round next year?
That's what the rumor was. That was the rumor today that I got alerted for. That it's they want a second round this year, a first round, a guaranteed first round next year. That's what the rumor was. Right. Obviously, we'll see.
I would not give that up. That's just me.
Right.
I'd wanna give them Jackson Smith, but I don't know how Rodgers feels about his rookie receivers. He wasn't too kind of them. He wasn't too compatible with them. Last year it took him a while to get going, and he's older. He doesn't want to put in the work in the off season like he used to. Or put in the extra time in the off season. Can you scroll down for me? Quentin Johnson there. You know what? I'm not going to overthink it. He's already pro ready enough. Let's take Jackson Smith, 13.
Oh, so they go receiver. So So you got
Yeah, I don't think Corey Davis is anything special. I think he's a very average receiver. Jackson Smith, who Garrett Wilson
Wait, who?
himself is
Wait, who is?
and Alan Lazard's there too. Ooh, okay.
Oh, Lazard is there. You're right.
Wait, who's average?
Corey Davis.
Corey Davis.
And they still got Denzel Mims, even though he hasn't panned out. But obviously, Joe Douglas, I guess, likes,
And Elijah Moore got traded, right?
Picks. Yeah, he got traded to Cleveland. So
for some reason, I thought I heard Garrett Wilson. I'm like, whoa, go back.
Right. Yeah.
Oh no.
Nahum knows not to say that. That's an interesting pick. I feel like if I was the Jets, I'd go Paris Johnson if he's available right there, just due to the fact that Mekhi Becton's been injured the past 2 years. He didn't even play a full year his rookie year in 2020.
Oh, that's right. I thought he was healthy this past year. That's why
he didn't play. No, he didn't even play. He got hurt.
All right.
Like during the
Let's
preseason.
take out Jackson Smith.
Nah, Jackson Smith's there. You gotta say that.
You're too late.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine though, man. I mean, Rodgers will be loaded with receivers.
Healthy this year.
Yeah, maybe he'll be healthy this year. If you're the GM, Joe Douglas, you're banking on Mekhi Becton. I mean, there was the report that he has lost weight though, so that's a good thing. Because that was also the concern that he was too overweight, and that was probably a key reason why he was getting hurt. But
he's a big boy.
Yeah, he shredded some weight. So maybe they're in your situation. Maybe they're banking on him to finally be healthy and obviously in shape. So you went Jackson Smith to load up that receiving group for Aaron Rodgers. So I don't blame.
And I will say, they took him at 10 last year, right, Garrett Wilson?
Yeah. 10.
Yeah. They obviously had him graded pretty highly then on their board.
Yeah, they had a great first round. I mean, they even got Jermaine Johnson at 26. So I mean, he didn't really have a great rookie year, but he was projected to go top 20 at the time, and he ended up going to 26. So they traded back in to get him. So it was, and you end up with the rookie and defensive and offensive rookie of the year with Sauce and Garrett Wilson. So
yeah, I'm thinking if they have Garrett Wilson that high on their board, it's hard for me to think he's not top 12 on their board. Jackson Smith.
Yeah. Obviously, yeah. Corey Davis. We can see what happens with that. Maybe they try to get rid of him. I don't know what his contract's like. Maybe he can be possibly released after the preseason for all we know. You can get Rodgers, GSN with Wilson and Alan Lazard, who he's familiar with. That that team would be scary, especially on offense. They already got a good defense. So yeah, that's an interesting pick. I wouldn't be mad at that if I was a Jets fan. But now, and then you get Breece Hall coming back too, so even the run game is going to be good. And then just bank on Mekhi Becton or get another tackle in maybe the second round or so. But yeah, JSN's off the board at 13. But now we got the New England Patriots, and since their rival Jets didn't get a tackle, I'm gonna have them get Paris Johnson Jr., obviously the best tackle on the board right now. Trent Brown, he's according to the depth chart on ESPN, he's listed at left tackle. Riley Reif's listed at right tackle. Riley Reif's like 34 years old. Trent Brown's getting old as well. You might as well bring in Paris Johnson. Obviously, you're going to need that protection for if it's Mac Jones or if Bailey Zappi ends up being the starting quarterback. We'll see what happens with Mac Jones. There's the rumors that they're trying to trade him recently. We'll see what happens. But whoever the quarterback is, they need protection. Riley Reif, if he does play, he's obviously not going to play a whole year because he's getting older. Same with Trent Brown. Both of those guys could be injured just due to their age. Get a guy like Paris Johnson Jr., a young cat on a rookie contract, your future tackle for the next 4 to 5 years. If you become a 5th-year option, get him on that rookie contract. Don't have to go to free agency next year and pay big money for one. So Paris Johnson's the guy for me with New England at 14. But now, any comment, or I'll go to 15.
No, it's a good pick.
It should be.
Okay, so 15, we got the Green Bay Packers on the clock with Jake as GM. What do the Packers do right here? Is this a trade back situation? Do they get a guy right here at 15?
If JSN was on the board, this would have been the pick. But, of course, Nahum had to rob me of that selection as the Jets GM. And I was not expecting that, so I got to adjust on the fly here. Well, their defense is pretty loaded. They could use another edge, but I'm not really a fan of the guys that are on the board here, and even the guys that I can't see here. I don't know. This feels like no man's land for edge, like right around this area.
Miles Murphy,
Um,
Lucas Van Ness, there's some guys that could possibly top 15 guys.
Well, this is what I would do, and I'm not a Lucas Van Ness guy. He seems all power, no finesse, no hand, no pass rush move.
He's just
no
a bull
bang.
rush kind of guy that they're gonna eventually,
Just a bull rush guy that just relies on his strength, and he's not gonna be able to be one dimensional at the next level.
Okay.
Now, I will say, even though this isn't who I'm picking, but I just want to clear up that there's this thing about Iowa not starting him, and he never started the game.
Yeah,
Iowa
they,
has this,
like they
Iowa
go
has
off
this
the
weird thing about starting seniors over the players.
they go off the seniority over the obviously who's actually better.
Yeah. It's all old school, and I hate it so much.
Yeah, I was whack for that.
I hate that so much. Like if they start the younger players, just maybe, they would
Better.
be a more competitive team. But, anyways, I mean, if I was the AD of Iowa, that's what I would demand to do. But
Right.
I'm not the GM of a college team. I'm the GM of a pro team, and right now it's the Green Bay Packers.
On daily football zone.
On the Daily Football Zone. That's correct.
So,
The
yeah,
one
what's
year
the
Aaron
Packers?
Rodgers is not on the team. This is when we go receiver. And
Not tight end.
it's gonna be my number one guy, Quentin Johnston out of TCU.
Okay. Ooh.
There's not many guys like him in his class. This is a very small receiver class. Johnston is one of the bigger guys, and despite his size, one of the faster guys as well. People say he's a body catcher. I can't stand that BS. It's where the ball is placed. If it's placed in his chest, do you still want him to jump for it and let the ball hit his crotch? Like, what? I don't know. I don't get it. Like, Max Duggan sucks. I'm sorry. And the offense sucks. They let him down.
A better quarterback.
Quentin Johnston is a better player than what his stats would say, even though his stats were still very good. He was actually a freshman breakout, believe it or not, for TCU. And he dealt with a bit of an ankle issue last year. He missed a couple games to start the year, and then he came on like mid-season, then just started to tear up college ball all the way until the Natty, until they faced the monster in Georgia. But yeah, the Packers get a receiver, and Jordan Love gets another weapon for his first year as a starter.
Nice. So Quentin Johnston.
I like the pick.
Nahum.
I like the pick. I would say though, Jake, if I was you there, I was thinking you might go Kincaid.
I've been going tight end.
Just because
but
a
Mayer.
rookie, a young quarterback having a tight end out there would be it's like a quarterback's best friend. But
They do need tight end, but
That is true.
They do need tight end, but they go day 2 possible.
That is true, but even when Aaron Rodgers was a youngster, he didn't utilize the tight end very much. I know he had Jermichael Finley, but it's not like he was racking up stats every week. It would always be the receivers that would do that.
Yeah.
So
that's because it was Rodgers.
Now we got Jordan Love.
So. He don't need a good tight end.
Right.
He can have whoever.
No.
We'll see what it's like with Jordan Love though. But I've been my mock drafts. I've been having Michael Mayer go there at 15 to Green Bay. I think with the loss of Robert Tonyan, I feel like they need a tight end, and then
the Packers are gonna have 2 second rounders because of the Rodgers trade, so they can use one of those.
Get a tight end down there.
Maybe they get a tight end there, or if they go tight end 15, maybe they try to trade up to get someone like Zay Flowers to put in the slot. Maybe that could be a possibility. I feel like that'd be a good first 2 picks if they do that. They address those needs for sure. But obviously, we'll see come draft day what really happens. But Nahum, you're now on the clock with the Washington Commanders. What do the Commanders do at 16?
I like this team.
It's going to be a quick pick for me. The Commanders were lacking their pass defense. They already have one of the best front sevens in the league. They're going to roll with Sam Howell here, so I don't think Anthony Richardson would be the pick.
Well, he's not even available.
Let's go to.
That's right.
Yeah.
Unless they decide to trade up, but
in this reality, Titans take him. Yeah.
Imagine he gets selected, but then they turn the card in. It says Anthony Richardson. They're like, "Oh, he's not on the board, you guys."
Are you trying to sign a random Anthony Richardson off the street, or?
So it's no Anthony Richardson. We're gonna take Joey Porter Jr. from Penn State.
Ooh, snake.
The guy with long arms is gonna be a nice press corner.
Snake the Pittsburgh Steelers. Snipe them right there.
Yep.
Ooh.
Hey, Steelers can still take a. Hey, up to you, Caleb. Up to you. I'll let you make that.
No, I've been wanting Joey Porter there just due to the
There's still another guy
the
on
headlines
the
of the father-son combination in Pittsburgh.
As a Steelers fan, there's still another corner on the board that I would prefer over Joey Porter. I'm not gonna say who it is.
I was gonna say, is it Deontay Banks?
You go ahead and.
Is it Emmanuel Forbes? Is it Cam Smith? Due to Joey Porter now being off the board, Jake, I'll do you some justice and give you an offensive tackle. Is it DeJuan Jones or is it Darnell Wright?
Please not DeJuan Jones.
I didn't want to say who. I thought about asking you who you'd rather have, but I'll give you, since you said that, I'll give you Darnell Wright.
Okay, that's cool. That's
to make you happy.
I like that. Yeah.
I also see a team like Tampa Bay going tackle right there. I've been mocking Darnell Wright to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but due to Joey Porter Jr. being off the board and Mike Tomlin not being able to bring in a Joey Porter Jr., Darnell Wright is the guy at 17. And
Good question. Do you guys
think the offensive lineman help protect your future franchise quarterback and Kenny Pickett? Help the run game with Najee Harris if he can, get going in year 3. I feel like that's the right pick.
You think he can play left tackle, or he'll slide in and just play right tackle?
I think he's more natural on the right side, but he can be a really good one.
I think so too. Really good right
17
tackle.
In this situation, they're going Darnell Wright. But Jake, you're on the clock with the Atlanta Falcons that traded back. I kind of wish I was able to have this pick, but obviously with the team I traded back, it ended up being with you. So, what do the Falcons do with the 18th overall pick?
Now, if I'm the GM of the Falcons, I'm running to the podium here, and I got my CB2 on the card, and it's going to be Deontay Banks.
So even after the Jeff Okudah trade yesterday, you still got them going
corner trade.
Casey Hayward and AJ Terrell there?
Because I can see Okudah playing more inside, and then you'll have Banks as your bigger boundary guy, along with AJ Terrell on the opposite side.
And what happens with Casey Hayward?
Well, Casey Hayward's getting up there in age, man. I know. Corner forever.
Deontay Banks is it?
Yep.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't blame you, but me being like with the realistic part of it, I feel like the Okudah trade takes away them going corner. In my opinion, I feel like they're not going to go corner. I was thinking like they're going to go edge, and that's why I traded back. They get someone like Myles Murphy or Lucas Van Ness here, but I don't blame you for taking Deontay Banks just due to the fact that we'll see what happens with Jeff Okudah and then Casey Hayward being old. So
this is more of a long-term investment pick.
Yeah, I don't blame you for that. I don't blame you for that.
Hayward and Jeff Okudah, who knows if he's even going to be on the team next year? I mean, who knows? He could be he could be bounced around the league like a joint.
Yeah.
So this is a long-term investment pick, and you just got to hope it pans out.
Yeah, because he'd be going up for he would need his 5th-year option picked up. If not, then he'd be a free agent next year. So, I don't blame you. I was going more off what I was trying to strategize with it, but obviously I didn't end up with it. I ended up with Pittsburgh. So, but that's fine. You're in charge. So, Deontay Banks was the guy there at 18. But now Nahum, Tampa Bay Buccaneers are on the clock at 19. They got some holes to fill. Tom Brady's not there anymore. They let go of some guys like Leonard Fournette, Donovan Smith. Devin White's wanting a trade, even though they don't go linebacker here. What did the Tampa Bay Buccaneers do? They trade back. They stay at 19.
Let's see what tackles are on the board.
I feel like they do go tackle. I think DeJuan Jones would be the next guy up, but Mr. GM.
They could go tackle. Can you go to guards? See what interior guys are inside.
Guard too. Yeah, Cyrus Torrance there. Steve Avila.
It is a little early for a guard.
Torrance there. Stay in Florida.
Let's see. You know what? I think they're lacking explosiveness and have been for a while at the tight end position. They tried to get OJ Howard in the first round years back, didn't pan out. I'm gonna give them Kincaid here.
Kincaid?
Yeah.
Dalton Kincaid, sadly, my Utah Ute legend, is a rival of mine, sadly. I hope he doesn't end up in Tampa Bay. I hope they believe in Washington Husky Cade Otton to be their guy. But GM Nahum, Dalton Kincaid to help Baker Mayfield, Kyle Trask.
So whoever's in there at quarterback, they're gonna have some help. They're also gonna have Godwin and Mike there, and I thought about taking the lineman here. Could have taken a corner, maybe maybe Brian Brees, but no, I think Kincaid is probably the highest person on their board.
Okay, Dalton Kincaid is sadly at the boom now, but yeah, number 20, you got the Seattle Seahawks on the clock. I got them again. I had them go Will Anderson Jr., address the edge need. Now they're on the clock here, and this is interesting. What do I want to do with them here? There we got them an edge. I feel like this, to be honest, I feel like this can be a trade back scenario, to be honest. I feel like somebody can trade up for like Miles Murphy or Lucas Van Ness right here. I'm trying to think of a team that would need an edge. Unless y'all think I should stay put.
I mean, you're the GM, so
I know.
I'm not gonna tell you what to do.
I know, but I want your feedback too, just to, get some thoughts rolling.
Scroll down the board real quick.
Because I feel like I know, like, if I stay put, I know what pick I want to do, but I'm trying to think of a trade back scenario due to the fact that there's, I feel like Miles Murphy or Lucas Van Ness someone could trade up for those guys right here, or Nolan Smith even. But no, I'm gonna stay put then. They went edge. I got them going wide receiver right here.
That should have been my pick for Atlanta.
Who?
Nolan Smith.
Nolan Smith.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. I trade back thinking that's what I was saying. Like, I feel like they could trade back there and get an edge at 18 if it's Murphy, Smith, or Van Ness. Any of those guys are there. I feel like that would be the.
I'm not mad with Banks.
I know you good, but this pick I got them going Zay Flowers. I feel like D. Eskridge isn't the guy.
No, he's not.
You got Tyler Lockett getting older. You got Metcalf in the middle of his prime. Give Geno Smith a weapon on the inside and Zay Flowers. That offense could be rolling with that. 5'9", he can play in the slot. He got the speed. He's good after the catch. I feel like Zay Flowers would fit right in Seattle's pass attack, and that's my move right there if they don't trade back.
No, I think he could eventually become like a Tyler Lockett too.
Yeah,
he'd be a really good route runner. He's really explosive. The way he cuts is just different. He's really good.
Even I think like if the rumor's true about because they say the wide receiver class isn't that stacked. Only if JSN's the only top guy according to people's draft boards around the league. I feel like maybe they trade back to get Zay Flowers, not at 20. I mean, obviously we see if that rumor's true. So, we'll see. But
Seahawks, they've already proven that they don't give a fuck about what the media says about the players.
But
they got their own draft board and they follow this.
Right. So I got Zay Flowers there at 20 for the Seattle Seahawks if they don't trade back. But now, Jake, you're on the clock with Nahum's Chargers. I hope you do me justice and go with the guy I've been mocking this whole time. But
anyone but him. Anyone.
What do you do with the Los Angeles Chargers at 21?
There's a couple directions we can go with this.
Oh, and by the way, before we get into this pick, we all got each other's teams. So you got Nahum's, I had yours, and Nahum had mine. So I liked how this order went.
Right. Okay.
So, I like how this order went with us. So, what did the Chargers do?
Okay, now Nahum, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just going to go through some positions that they might need help in. Corner, D tackle, receiver. I think those are the three positions that they need the most help in. At 21.
Linebacker too, but not in the first.
Yeah. But that's what
linebacker. We got Eric Kendricks. We already have our young guy Kenneth Murray next to him.
But
Corner is
you-
a
you
need,
can- Let's see
But
what happens.
there's already a lot of assets we have into corner right now. Already a lot of assets. So I'd be surprised if they use a first round pick on one. But it is still a need.
So D tackle.
I mean, they're not too much of a need team. They're like best player available among like out of the positions that you just said, the best player available out of those like 3-4 positions. I think that's what the Chargers usually do.
So we're talking about Jordan Addison, right?
This might be. I haven't seen him mock the Chargers very much, but I'm gonna go with Brian Bresee here, D tackle. It's a position of need, and I think this is around the correct value for Bresee, and I think he could still turn out to be one of the better players in the class if things go his way.
That's a good pick. I feel like help that defensive line for sure. I feel like they can use defensive tackle, even though it hurts my Jordan Addison feelings, but it is what it is. Nahum's happy, I guess.
You are a Los Angeles Charger.
As long as Nahum's happy, that's all that matters.
But no, that's a good pick. They I feel like the D line, they put a lot of assets into it last year, and it didn't really shake out how they wanted to. Into the end of the year, it got better, but I think the D line, we should throw as many people as we can and see who plays the best. I think we should be a good addition and add a lot more talent to that D line room.
I think it's a well-built D line. It just wasn't healthy. They missed a lot of games last year.
Bosa's hurt. Mac's getting old. They're both getting older.
Dude, if you add Bresee to this D line and they're all healthy together, this could be one heck of a unit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And is he a nose tackle? Is he a two gapper? Is he or is he like a 4-3?
He might be more of a two gapper.
I think
he can play 3-4 D tackle. He's not really a D end.
No.
But he can't rush the passer as a D tackle though. He's an all around.
As long as he can two gap.
Definitely clog up the mega.
Yeah, he can.
Is he over 300 pounds?
He's 310, 315, I think.
Okay, we could rock with that. I like that.
Like 6'4", I think.
298.
Oh, 298? Around 300.
He's 6'5". I mean,
I don't think that's very accurate. I think he's heavier than that.
But he's a big guy, so 6'5" too. So I mean, he can deflect a lot of passes at the line too. But yeah, Nahum, you're now on the clock with the Baltimore Ravens at 22. What do the Ravens do right here? They just brought in OBJ. We'll see what happens with Lamar. They got cornerback.
Man. Last year, they were just decimated by injuries, man. It was tough to watch because they would have went far in the playoffs, I think. I mean, they still made it to the playoffs, but I think they could have, if they had Lamar, probably could have beaten Bengals round one. They probably wouldn't have.
Utah legend Huntley tried his best.
Yeah, but if they had Lamar, they probably wouldn't even be in that spot. They'd have a higher seed and yada yada. You can play the if game all day. But that DB group was just they took it the worst. I feel like it was just injury after injury. So let me see who's on the board for the corners right now.
Yeah, I feel like they can go corner right here. I mean, Brandon Stephens, I think, is listed as the cornerback 2 behind Marlon Humphrey.
Oh, do we shock the world and take the next great quarterback, Stetson Bennett? I am gonna take a Georgia guy. I'm gonna take Kelly Ringo right here.
Okay, Keely Ringo being the next cornerback off the board. Okay.
Yeah, him versus I know they like the big program. It's a established program, and they do need DB. They just need DBs. So they took a safety last year. I don't think they take a safety again in the first round this year. Even though Brian Branch is on the board, I think they rock with Kelly Ringo.
Him versus Pickens is gonna be a dogfight. No offense to Michael Vick.
Okay. So Keely Ringo to
the Baltimore Ravens.
Keely Ringo to the Baltimore Ravens. We now got the Minnesota Vikings on the clock. They can use a lot of help on defense in that secondary. I'm not going to give them corner right here, though, just due to the Byron Murphy signing. And then
they could use linebacker, too.
Yeah, but I don't think linebacker is going to be a guy at 23 unless they want to trade back to the second round and get a guy and accumulate picks or something, but I don't think they're gonna go linebacker 23.
Yeah,
And cornerback, I mean, you drafted Andrew Booth Jr. last year in the first, and then you bring in Byron Murphy. Lewis Sign is gonna be safety. Harrison Smith's getting older though. I think what's his name, Cameron Bynum's the other safety. They could go Brian Branch, but me as GM, I'm not gonna go Brian Branch right here. I'm gonna give him a receiver just due to the fact that the only receivers I can think on that team is Jefferson and Osborne. Obviously, Thielen's now in Carolina. They can use another receiver to complement Justin Jefferson, or defenses are going to be double teaming him all year. I feel like they need to have another threat there to take the pressure off Jefferson. And looking at these guys, you got Jalen Hyatt, you got Jordan Addison. I don't think Josh Downs goes in the first, obviously. Something makes me think they might. Jalen Hyatt's more of a deep threat. They could go there, but
he's a straight liner.
I'm gonna give him Jordan Addison.
I like that.
They could be number 2 to complement Jefferson. I feel like that'd be a really good receiving group with him, Jefferson, and Osborne in the nickel, or however they want to do it. And you got T.J. Hawkinson there as well now. Kirk Cousins. You still got Dalvin Cook. We'll see what happens with him. I know there are rumors that he could be on the trade block, but the offense can still be good. We'll see what they do day 2 when it comes to the defense. I feel like that's when they'll address the linebacker need, because I don't think a linebacker is going to go in the first round this year. Obviously, they haven't really panned out in the past couple years getting a linebacker in the first. So, I say they go receiver to replace Thielen and then take the pressure off of Jefferson. And Jordan Addison sitting there at 23. I mean, I could have, if Zay Flowers is there, I think maybe Zay Flowers could be the guy. But Jordan Addison at their number 2. That's where I have Minnesota going. But now, Jake, you're on the clock with the AFC South champions, Jacksonville Jaguars. What did they do at 24?
This is an easy pick for me. Give me Sir Brian Branch the first from Alabama.
Damn.
Brian Branch. Okay.
Oh, did I snipe somebody? Did I snipe you, Neha?
You did. I was gonna take it.
Giants.
I was gonna take the Giants.
I can see him at Giants too.
Well, that would have been interesting.
Just due to the fact that Xavier McKinney is their only safety, really. So.
Yeah, that's right. No more Julian Love.
A good pick.
Yeah, I would. Me personally, I would have went Osiris Torrance with Jacksonville. I say give Trevor Lawrence some help, but Brian Branch, they can use safety too. To be honest, to who else they got at safety? I can't think of his name that's there right now.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
His freaking name.
He's from Syracuse.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah. What the fuck?
Oh my God, I know his name.
I'm looking it up right now because it's killing me that I can't. His name's not coming to my head right now.
I give up.
Hold on, let me think a little. Andre Cisco.
That's right. Oh,
Syracuse.
There
Yeah.
you go.
They have Cisco
Andre
and Rashawn
Cisco.
Jenkins, but obviously Jenkins is getting
Rashawn
older,
Jenkins.
so you could throw Brian Branch there, or you could move Brian Branch around. Yeah, I still say that could be a pick for Jacksonville. If not, me personally, I would probably went guard if not Brian Branch. But that was a good pick though. But Nahum, you got sniped now with Brian Branch. What did the Giants do at 25?
I did get sniped. Right here, I think all the first round prospects are gone. I think here you just take the best player on your board, one that fits the team need. Scroll back up for me. Yeah, okay, that's all we got. I think we're gonna reach a little bit here. We're gonna take a interior lineman. Let's look at the guards and the centers.
I don't know. I think Osiris Torrance would be good right here. I don't think any centers are first round material in my opinion.
All right, I'm gonna take a guard that I liked. That I like a lot. Steve Avila.
Ooh,
I
TCU
knew it.
guy.
I knew it.
I mean, he could possibly go late first.
He's a road grader, man. He's a road grader. He played his ass off. I mean, against Georgia was kind of a different story, but he balled out that Michigan game, and I think he's a road grader, man. It's a big guy right there. I think he's ready.
Okay, yeah.
And I think it's a little too early to take a center right now for the Giants.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Now we got the Dallas Cowboys on the clock. do we have? I'm trying to think of a team because I feel like that this time if we're going realistic. This is usually around teams in the early second trying to trade up into the first. I don't think Cowboys will do that though. I think they go tight end here. Michael Mayer's on the board. I feel like that's an easy pick. You got to replace Dalton Schultz. You got Michael Mayer sitting there at 26. I feel like that's the best move right there. It's hurting me that Miles Murphy and Lucas Van Ness are still on the board. Even Nolan Smith are still on the board right now. So I feel like there's going to be some team that's going to trade up for one of those guys. But I can't think of a team that will do it. So I went Michael Mayer. They can use tight end, of course. But now Bills could be a team that, obviously they don't have that many needs. So I feel like they could be a team that's willing to trade back to accumulate picks for a team that wants to trade up for an edge. That's just based off of my thoughts. But Jake, obviously you're in charge. What happens right here with the Buffalo Bills?
This kind of feels like a Packers situation where the fans are going to be hammering the tables for a receiver, some kind of weapon for Josh Allen. But looking at the board, there's no one who I like at 27. Whether it's, I do love Darnell Washington, as you guys may know, but they already got a tight end, and they really need a perimeter guy, like a guy that has potential to be like a number 2 receiver opposite of Diggs, not really a tight end. Although if they did take him, it wouldn't be the worst pick in the world. But I'm having going tackle here, and I think a good fit for them would be Anton Harrison from Oklahoma. He plays in the spread offense of Oklahoma. That's what Buffalo is, and I just think it's a great scheme fit. And Anton Harrison I think he's without a doubt a top 5 tackle in my opinion, and I think it's this just seems like one of these picks where if it happens, I wouldn't be totally surprised if it did.
Okay, I mean that could be a possibility. I still think I think Buffalo can, especially in this situation with not all their all the needs that they don't really need. I feel like somebody's going to trade up for one of these edge rushers. I don't know if it'll be Cincinnati being that team now. Nahum, now you're on the clock with Cincinnati. Do you think a team trades up for do you have them trading back for a team that can get an edge rusher?
No, but I, like Jake was saying, I think Bills really do need that number 2. Gabe Davis just wasn't it this year. He's super consistent. And I can see the Bills trading up for a receiver, even though this isn't like the past 2 years as far as receiver talent. Still the past 2 years, it's almost like more than half of the top 10 receivers that got drafted hit, and they were like good players. So I think also the same is going to be a few good receivers that come out of this class, and I think Bills try to go up and get one of them. But for the Bengals, I think this might be the first time that 3 tight ends are drafted in the first round. It might be the first time in history because we're going to go tight end. The question is, do we want to go with Washington or Laporta? And Laporta's a real slick tight end. Man, this guy, the way he cuts, the way he runs his routes is almost like a receiver. And he was like the top.
I would just breed tight ends, even though their pass attack was really good this past year. I see true potential, but
every year, I mean, every 3-4 years they have a really good tight end. And on top of that, this year he was like probably the best receiving threat that Iowa had.
Their pass attack wasn't really that great, but he was obviously their best option.
It wasn't, but there you go. Your tight end's your best option. I think your offense is bound not to be that great. And they had him all over the field. They had him at times at the fullback in the backfield, running a little option routes out of the backfield. He's nice, man. But it's like Washington could also do a lot for that team, make them more physical in the run game.
Yeah, definitely more
he can be an extra blocker if they need to.
He's a big freak of nature.
He's just a big presence. So I think if these 2 on the board, which I think they will be, I don't know. Washington could be taken earlier, who knows? But I'm the GM right now, and I'm going to go with more of the receiving threat. I'm going to go with Laporta.
Ooh, okay. I wouldn't blame you there, Sam Laporta.
So what makes him more of a receiving threat than Washington? Just curious.
Well, I mean, Washington's huge, and he runs really fast. Yeah. Obviously, he's really athletic. But the way Laporta runs his routes, the way he cuts, I think it's different. He really looks like a a receiver. He looks like a big receiver when
I'd say
he
Darnell
makes his cuts.
Washington's
He's
the
not
more
super
raw
fast,
prospect,
straight
but
line.
like the potential's definitely there.
Yeah, he's not as fast as Washington straight line. I mean, not as fast, but he's definitely quicker. And I just think in that Bengals offense, he can eat a lot one on one.
If there was more production
Hurts
out
had his
of
opportunities
Washington,
last year.
if there was more production out of Washington the past 2 years, definitely like he could arguably be the number one, number one guy, just due off his size and his athletic ability. But the number of production wasn't there, obviously, so that may draw teams away. But you can blame Stetson Bennett.
That's the thing, though, because I don't think the production doesn't tell the whole story with Washington. I mean, you're playing with
No, I don't think it. No, I don't think it does either. I don't think it does. But
I feel like some teams might put that into question, maybe.
because you're playing next to the best tight end in the nation as a freshman,
But
that guy's
Bowers.
crazy.
And,
That guy's.
Brock Bowers, and
Yeah.
they're centered around the defense and the run game. So what if you switched Michael Mayer and Washington? They switch teams. What do you think happens? I think Washington maybe has better production than Mayer because his hands are better.
I think he would
He's more
too.
athletic.
And we saw him hurdle that Oregon motherfucker week 1.
Yeah, he did.
He was like
Crazy
6'6",
athlete, crazy.
260 or some shit, hurdling motherfuckers, man. So the athletic ability is definitely there. But you know what? Yeah, Darnell Washington's a guy that's been rising for sure, and he could go He can go in the first round for sure, if not possibly early second. If we didn't sign Hayden Hurst, I wouldn't mind getting a tight end. If obviously my guy's Kincaid, just due to my Utah bias, but I wouldn't be mad if we got Darnell Washington. If we did the Texan scenario and got 33 or 32, whatever number it is, and 33. I wouldn't mind that situation either. But with the Hayden Hurst signing, I don't think we're really gonna go tight end. But yeah, just due to that, if they didn't, then I would have liked to have that scenario happen so we can get somebody at say 33 or 30, even 39. But yeah, that's not gonna happen now. But yeah, Darnell Washington definitely has the potential. We'll see come draft day where he actually
1,000%. And I think most teams would take Washington, but if I'm the Bengals GM, we have two crazy guys on the outside. We already have a nice slot receiver with Boyd. Laporta is someone else who could also beat linebackers with his little inside routes, and I just think he's a really good fit for that offense.
And
what they're looking for right now.
I just want to add one more thing to Washington. His nickname is literally the sixth lineman.
Literally.
Yeah. No,
the Bengals also, I mean, they still could use more lineman help. So if they get a guy that can block and catch, I mean,
yeah,
no, they could. But
I think maybe
you can have him there pass blocking. I don't think so.
It's also maybe the concern is his weight.
I mean, more run blocking specifically.
The concern could be his weight too, because he's like 260, 270 as a tight end. So maybe that's what could draw teams off.
He's like 6'7". I mean,
I know, but maybe just the weight, that number as a tight end could possibly be the reason why. If he could shed like 10 pounds or so, maybe teams would be more comfortable.
Isn't Mayer like 260? But he's like 6'4".
I'm not sure. Where does they have him on here? 249.
250. Damn.
I've read him as like 265.
He's listed at 264. Kincaid, I think.
I know. I meant
246.
Mayer.
Yeah, Mayer's at like 249 according to
I could have sworn Mayer.
Football Network. Sam Laporta is listed at 245, so he's the smallest out of the bunch that we looked at.
Yeah.
But yeah, Darnell Washington maybe due to the fact that he's 6'7". Well, according to this, it says he's 6'6", 264, but according to the description from Ian Cummings, it says he's 6'7", 265. But either way, I don't know. Maybe teams if he was 10 pounds lighter, it'd be a difference. I don't know. I mean, we're not the scouts. We're not in the GM rooms actually. So we'll see. Yeah, again, we'll see come draft day. He might be a day one guy. If not, he'd be early round 2. But yeah, we got the Saints on the clock. Do they go tight end here? I don't think so. They just gave Juwan Johnson a contract extension. I don't think that's going to be a big need for him at 29. Now I feel like this can be an edge territory right here. They, Cameron Jordan's getting older. They did draft Peyton Turner, but he's been kind of mid. Marcus Davenport is now in Minnesota. So as we're looking at the edges right here, I feel like they can go edge, and you got still some good edges on the board. BJ Ojulari can be an early day 2 guy. I'm hoping he can land in Carolina at 39. If we don't go receiver there. We got Miles Murphy and Lucas Van Ness are the top two guys. Even Nolan Smith, can be a guy right here. And I'll just give the top ranked guy. I'll give Miles Murphy right there. Even though I think he might get picked earlier. I have him earlier in my mocks, but he landed to us at 29 with the Saints, and I feel like that could be a position of need right there. So Miles Murphy to the New Orleans Saints.
I think it's a good scheme fit.
Yeah.
And he gets to play behind, rotate with Cameron Jordan. Obviously, yeah, is getting older by the day. Peyton Turner hasn't really been much since they drafted him out of Houston. That was like 2 or 3 years ago. He's pretty mid. I thought that was a dumb pick in general because they traded up to get him too. So, typical New Orleans Saints. So they're kind of dumb in my opinion. But that's also my hatred towards them. But sorry, Saints fans. This is my Panthers bias. But yeah, there goes Miles Murphy right there. I feel like that can help their defense a lot. So Philadelphia Eagles, their second pick at 30. Nahum had them going Robinson at 10. Jake, you're now the GM. The title is transferred over to you. What do the Eagles do here at 30th overall?
I want to go Nolan Smith, but are the Eagles still a 4-3? They're a 4-3 defense, right?
Yeah.
And their edge rushers are more on the bigger side.
Yeah, Hassan Reddick. Brandon Graham's getting older. I feel like they could go. I wouldn't blame them if they went edge here. Obviously, you can always use a lot of edges and rotate the fresh guy in, and situational downs and all that. I can see them going edge though.
How big is Hassan Reddick?
Hassan Reddick's he's not that old, but he's getting old. He was drafted in like 2018 or so.
He's only 6'1", 230? That's wow. Right.
Yeah, man. He's an outside linebacker.
He's a speed rusher.
He's a guy. I meant depending on the 3-4 or 4-3, he's either defensive end or outside linebacker. So.
This is a tough spot. I feel like this could be a spot for someone to trade up into the first round.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of those picks right there could be just due to the fact that some of those, obviously the good teams don't have that many needs, so there can be the guys in the early second trying to trade up to get a guy, and they fall back in the beginning of the second and accumulate picks. But yeah, I feel like this could be a trade back spot too for Philly.
Yeah, I'll give him Nolan Smith. It was between Nolan Smith and Cam Smith. One of the.
You don't think Houston? You don't got Houston trading up for an edge? 33.
No, I think they'll stay where they're at. I think.
Nolan
I
Smith.
think the Eagles are gonna go with. I guess it's kind of a luxury pick.
Is it Nolan Smith?
But I mean, your edge rushers are kind of getting up there in age. They're either over 30 or getting close to 30. So
yeah, Reddick's
might as well have the guy there. Ready
Graham's
to take over as starter eventually. And he doesn't need to be worked in as a full-time starter right away. He can learn, the ins and outs of the NFL, and he can take the time to get, a little bigger, maybe add 5 or 10 pounds if he needs to.
The speed's definitely there too. So.
Yeah, he's got the pass rush moves, he's got the finesse, and then, if he can maybe add on a little bit of weight to his stature, then
stay healthy. Yeah.
Yeah, and then by the time he becomes a full-time starter in year 2 or 3, then he'll be ready to go.
Yeah. Good pick. Nolan Smith right there at 30. That's a good pick. Nahum, you own the last pick, and it's also another rival of your Chargers, and that's the Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl champions. Patrick Mahomes, 2-time Super Bowl champion, 2-time Super Bowl MVP. Stuff that Herbert.
Yeah, this is a tough pick, man. It's a tough pick. It's a team I watch a lot, unfortunately. So it's like I got a good understanding of where their holes are at. I think a big thing, a big reason the Chiefs went to the Super Bowl last year and won it was because of Pacheco. Pacheco really gave him like a physical presence, and it made teams respect the run game. Because if you didn't put enough players in the box, Pacheco was gonna hit that extra 2-3 yards every time.
The CH is a disappointment.
He was a disappointment, which is part of the reason I'm not gonna.
Big disappointment.
I'm gonna not draft Jahmyr Gibbs here because the Chiefs still haven't brought back McKinnon. I think McKinnon was a great fit for the Chiefs, and
McKinnon's still a free
but
agent.
they're not bringing him back yet.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's still a free agent.
Yeah.
So that makes me want to go Gibbs here, but the whole Christian, CEH.
Last time they
Years
drafted the
ago.
running back at the end of the draft when they won the Super Bowl in was it
Exactly.
2020.
And it didn't work out. Well, we all thought it worked. I thought it worked out great for them. I thought it'd be a great fit, but it wasn't.
That's the same draft like
So-
Jonathan Taylor too, right? I remember. So was that
Yeah, I think John Taylor went second round.
Woo! Imagine if they would have got Jonathan Taylor instead of Edwards Hilaire.
Jonathan Taylor fell to like
Mm-hmm.
39.
He's like second round. Yeah,
Like
he's like
39
second
or
round.
40. Like middle of the second round.
Yeah, the Colts, man. Oh, fucking the people went to the Kansas City Chiefs with Mahomes.
The
Oh,
Colts had
Lord.
2 second-round picks, and they took Taylor with their second one.
That was a good draft that they had that year
Mhm.
too.
Yeah. They also took Pittman.
Mm-hmm. And they got Blackman in the third. They got some good drafts. Like they got Quentin Nelson a couple years before that. Like they've had some
Yeah.
decent drafts.
Quentin Nelson, 2018.
But shit, man, Taylor would have went to the Chiefs, man. That would have been a crazy offense. But yeah, Nahum, what do they do here at 31? They don't want to make that same mistake at running back. So what do you think? Or you got them trading out of the spot? The team wants to get Van Ness or
Let me double check where they are with
maybe they go Jalen Hyatt.
Orlando Brown.
They got Juwan Taylor. But I'm trying to think of the other tackle because Wiley left too. So who's the other tackle?
Oh, Bengals have Orlando Brown. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, because they replaced him with Juwan Taylor from Jacksonville. But I'm trying because they lost Andrew Wiley too to Washington. So I'm trying to think of who their left tackle is.
So here it could be a pick for the tackle.
They can get Dwan Jones.
You could get Dwan Jones. Yeah, I'm thinking right now it's between Dwan Jones, Jalen Hyatt, and the Hercules guy
Lucas
from Iowa.
The Hercules.
Yeah.
And they get Darian Kennard as another tackle there, and then Juwan Taylor.
I'm gonna go with Dwan Jones here.
Okay, Dwan Jones.
I wouldn't be
Kansas
surprised if
City
they took Hyatt here though. Mm-hmm.
They get a deep threat kind of guy from Mahomes. Or even another defensive tackle, maybe like Mozzie Smith's there. Yeah,
Or
it'd be
edge
interesting
because Frank Clark is not
Yeah.
returning. So.
unless they're banking on George Karlaftis and who's the other edge? I know they brought in the guy from San Francisco, Charles Minihu, however you say his last name. So-
Karlaftis is good though. He's definitely a solid player.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
he is.
Yeah, that rookie class last year was a big contribution, man, to them winning. That was a good rookie class.
yeah. So we'll go. I'll recap the whole draft. So at number 1, we went the Carolina Panthers. Went C.J. Stroud, quarterback at Ohio State. Houston Texans at 2 went Bryce Young. With the 3rd overall pick, they traded up one spot. The Colts got Will Levis. Therefore, at 4, the Cardinals went Tyree Wilson. At 5, we had Will Anderson being the second edge off the board. And then you saw that again last year with Walker and Hutchinson, so that flipped. So it wasn't surprised if Tyree Wilson actually went first and Anderson second. But then at 6, we had Devin Witherspoon to the Detroit Lions. And then another cornerback off the board was Christian Gonzalez, 7 to the Las Vegas Raiders. Then I made a splash move at 8. I had the Falcons trading back 10 spots with the Detroit Lions so the Lions can, double down on defense and get Jalen Carter on that stacked defensive line. With the 9th overall pick, the Chicago Bears went Broderick Jones. With the 10th overall pick, the Eagles went Bijan Robinson. With the 11th pick, the Tennessee Titans went quarterback again and got Anthony Richardson. With the 12th pick, the Houston Texans draft Peter Skoronski. With the 13th overall pick, the New York Jets went Jackson Smith and Jigba. With the 14th overall pick, the Patriots went Paris Johnson Jr. At 15, the Green Bay Packers got Quentin Johnston. At 16, Joey Porter Jr. to the Washington Commanders. At pick 17, the Pittsburgh Steelers finally addressed the offensive line in the first round and go Darnell Wright. With the 18th overall pick, that was the trade back. Atlanta traded back to 18 to get Deontay Banks. At 19, Tampa Bay Buccaneers draft tight end Dalton Kincaid. At 20, the Seattle Seahawks, their second first-round pick, they get Zay Flowers, wide receiver out of Boston College. With the 21st pick, Nahum's Los Angeles Chargers didn't go Jordan Addison. They went Brian Bresee out of Clemson. With the 22nd overall pick, the Baltimore Ravens go Keely Ringo, a cornerback out of Georgia. At 23, the Minnesota Vikings took what should have been Chargers wide receiver Jordan Addison. with the 24th overall pick, the Jaguars go Brian Branch. At pick 25, Steve Avila is the first guard taken off the board. At 26, Michael Mayers, the Dallas Cowboy. At 27, Anton Harrison to the Buffalo Bills. At 28, Bengals don't go Darnell Washington. They go Sam Laporta. At 29, Miles Murphy falls to the New Orleans Saints. At number 30, another edge off the board as Nolan Smith falls to the Philadelphia Eagles. And then to finish the first round, the Super Bowl winning champions, Kansas City Chiefs, go offensive tackle DeJuan Jones at Ohio State. Man, that was a good draft. Definitely a lot of good conversation. It was fun. Definitely, drafts again 2 weeks from when this video is put out. Excited for that. Obviously, we'll see what actually happens come draft day. Our next draft, most likely we'll have one more draft come out. I want to do two. If not, one will come out before the draft, and we'll try to make that. I say that'll be the most predictive out of all. Obviously, we're getting closer to the draft, so we'll do what we think is most predictive. It was a good one though. I like all these picks were interesting. What are your thoughts before we head out tonight?
I'm just excited. Honestly,
I'm excited too, man. It's always a good time of year.
I just want the build-up to be over. Like, I wish the draft was tomorrow.
All right, you just want to see, where, especially for me, because I'm tired of hearing all these damn rumors. Is it going to be Stroud? Is it going to be Bryce Young?
All right.
Because I doubt there's going to be no more trades until the draft. So can we just get there already?
It probably won't happen until draft night if trades do happen.
And probably the Rodgers trade might not happen until draft night too.
Yeah, most likely happen draft night.
Or after that, probably.
Yeah, after that we're on
Friday.
Friday. Maybe we'll see. I'm excited to see what really happens, where these guys land. Like, I'm tired of seeing the Twitter wars on Panthers Twitter with no, it's Bryce Young, no, it's CJ Stroud, and then you have the random no, it's Anthony Richardson. Like we'll see come draft day, like what's really gonna happen.
There's no problems, all right.
Right. We'll see what really happens on draft day. But I'll ask you guys before we head out. What's your guys' dream pick or dream scenario for your personal teams? Nahum, Chargers at 21. I know it's not Jordan Addison like me, so what would be your dream pick at 21? Or if it's trade back or trade up, like what's your dream scenario and pick for you?
It's like Kincaid, probably my dream scenario. Kincaid or like a Zay Flowers or Jackson Smith. Besides like the top 2 or 3 receivers, like I don't think Quincy Johnson would be a fit for our team because we already have 2 bigger guys.
You already have a Mike Williams and Allen's your number 1.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be a fit for our team. I like Kincaid or one of those smaller receivers.
Okay. I know I don't blame you for that. I feel like you get Justin Herbert some more weapons, of course. But yeah, Jake, your Pittsburgh Steelers. I know you want them to trade up get a tackle. Is that your dream scenario, or do you want them to stay at 17 and get your guy if that's a possibility, or what are your thoughts?
We're just talking first round, right?
Yeah, this first round.
Well, I mean, there's a dream scenario where we stay, and then there's a dream scenario where we trade up. If we trade up, it's got to be either Gonzalez or it feels to me like Paris Johnson. If we do go tackle, it feels like it would be him. But I think I'd be more excited if it was Gonzalez. Not gonna lie. I think maybe just because it's the sexier pick, because it's a corner, and he has the potential to be one of the best in the league, and
whatnot. No one wants a fat lineman in the first round.
but hey, I'm not gonna complain because
younger me would be like, damn, we got an offensive lineman or a defensive tackle. But now, like me, as obviously talking football, like those motherfuckers are important. They might not be the sexy picks, but they work out in the long run. Like I was stoked that we got Ikem Ekwonu.
Exactly. We have failed to acknowledge the offensive line in the early rounds for years. It's time we change that. We got 4 picks in the first 3 rounds, so that better change. If we stay put at 17, I feel like Broderick is somewhat realistic, but
yeah, he can go to 17.
I don't think it'll happen. If we're at 17, I would say either Deonte Banks for corner, or for tackle, I would say Darnell Wright. So those are my 2 scenarios. One,
not
if
Jody,
we stay
not Jody Porter Jr.
I mean, I wouldn't mind Joey Porter Jr. either.
I just feel like that'd just be perfect. Like it's the narratives to be there. Like Joey Porter's son playing for his team. Blah 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 blah.
I mean, that would be such a Steelers thing.
That'd be a Steelers move. Right. But yeah, 2 weeks away. We'll plan something for if it's live coverage or after the draft coverage. We'll have that ready for y'all. Hopefully, mock draft 4.0, maybe a 5.0, depending on time and what we can get out. But I'll definitely still put out my mock drafts. I put out my mock draft 3.0 on Monday. You can check that out on Spotify, YouTube, all that. So go check that out if y'all want. Again, leave a comment. Let us know how y'all thought of our picks, our decisions. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Share the page as well. Share the video. That always goes a long way as well on your socials and Instagram stories and all that. So, anything y'all want to say before we head out tonight?
Not really. Go Chargers.
I think I've said everything I need to say. Here we go, Steelers.
All right, y'all. We'll see you on the next video.
Later, guys.
Wait. No. I'm trying to end this correctly. There you go.